Okay, I think it's streaming. I like doing this streaming stuff. I don't know if it's broadcasting or streaming. Just a quick check. One moment, please. Alright, it is. Okay, so, bienvenue, anybody who's interested. So today, um, the last couple of days, I heavily embellished these. It's wrapped in 2 layers of protection, so it's gonna look shiny here. But it's 75% a new painting on top of a print. It's not just a light embellishment like a lot of other artists do. This is a full on. It's like this entire tree. Oop, it's backwards. This entire tree is painted over. The bird is painted over. These are painted over. All the highlights, new cloud formations, airbrush around the edges. It is essentially almost a new painting. And so it takes a while to make these. And then I have to put spray varnish on them and let that sit for a day. So it's finally ready, and I got it all wrapped, and I'm sending it. I'm not going to put the person's real name, whole name and address, but I have to mail it to them. Let's just say her name is Elaine, and she lives in California. So I get a lot of compliments about, hey man, we love how it feels so. I don't pre-print any. Everything is made by hand, as much as I possibly can. So even the lettering on the envelope. So these are from Uline. I bought these big, expensive golden envelopes, and they're heavy bubble protection in there. Because I want people to feel like they got the golden ticket, from like Willy Wonka. So I spent extra money. I'm now learning that I have to charge more for my work because I keep spending all these extra things. And, let me see if I could paste up. I could put this on Facebook so I can get my numbers up, my views up. As it stands right now, not a whole lot of people. Not a lot of people watch what I'm doing. I'm kind of just talking to myself. That's okay. I don't give a shit. I think it's fun to share. Because I do a lot of stuff, and I feel like I put up my heart into everything that I do as much as I can. And I mean, partly, yeah, it's a little lonely thing. It feels unnoticed a lot. But really, I wish there was more people sharing how they do things, So I'm just sorry about the delay. Let me just put this on the Facebook. Get that out there, Alright, we'll let that post. I don't know what's taking that so long. So, I like to start off my workday with one of my favorite songs. I'm slowly getting back into doing guitar. I've never tried to be a real guitarist. I just like bar chords and writing songs on guitar. And so, we're going to do this little song from the 80s. We're not scared to lose it all. Security thrown through the wall. Future dreams we have to realize. 1,000 skeptic hands won't keep us from the things we plan, unless we're clinging to the things we prize. Oops. And do you feel scared? I do. And we won't stop and falter. And if we threw it all away, things will only get better. super fun. Wow. Okay. That's Howard Jones, who's amazing. I love that song. I listen to that song like once a week. Tu ne dois pas oublier le café. Okay. All right. So, the first thing I like to do is write. I like to write on the envelope and then let that dry. It dries pretty quickly. I've found that regular Sharpies just don't work on this material, so I have to go to these deco colors, which are, I don't know what they're made of. They don't really say, but they seem to stick to the damn envelope, and that's what matters. So I'll put myself maybe in green. Only got a couple of these deco colors. Or brown maybe because it's darker. And then after that, I'll go over it with a little bit of the white acrylic, even though it doesn't stick too well. But it's just for this one journey. And then the people in the post office put a sticker on it anyway, so the rest just is just decoration. However, we're gonna go through with the whole thing, baby. I'll do my name in green, so like any envelope. Oop, that was it. I love the smell of these. I know that's bad. So, oh shit, you can't really see anything. I need to get like a camera that goes over what I'm doing. Gotta have really strong concentrations because there's no eraser. If I mess this up, I gotta throw this envelope away and start over or repurpose it some kind of way. Usually this stuff, yeah, but you can sort of scratch it off if you really try. Well, it's not scratching off. It sticks pretty good. Okay, so that's mine. Woo! All right, that's the return address. Now let's do the main address here. I'm not gonna put. I don't want to mess up people's privacy, but I'm just gonna do a little bit of it. And make sure I'm spelling everybody's names right. Sometimes you think it's Marcus, but it's with a K or something like that instead of C. Okay, E. This needs a little. Gotta pump it up a little bit here. Get your little scratch sheet, baby. Now, the person's name is going to, I go a little slower, make it a little thicker. $8714. Like I said, I'm not gonna do the whole address. I don't want to mess up people's privacy. Okay, and then I'll just put Elk Grove. Oh, where's the zip code? Oh, geez. So it's shiny and kind of hard to see. So I found that I'll add white to it. But it doesn't matter because the people at the post office put a sticker on it, and that's what the computer actually reads. So this is all just kind of, I guess I could just not put anything and just go up there and tell them what the address is. Use that dig saw, boy. So, and this is a one for all acrylic twin. I found these really are nice. And so I just add, damn, y'all can't see what I'm doing. That sucks. There we go. So I just add like, to make it pop, I just add I only add it in a certain place on the side and bottom, so it almost gives it a 3D look. Now, I don't know how to explain how to do that. You'd have to understand how to turn 3D objects into 2D, which is the infinite challenge of any artist. How do I explain how to do that? I mean, that's like months of training and learning stuff. But you only do it from one side. You don't do it the whole thing. You know, and this is a journey. I'm like I told y'all in the other videos, I've only been like drawing cartoons and stuff since I was a kid. Doing all this is kind of new. Maybe 2018 I started fooling around with some paints, but nothing really substantial. It's really 2022 that it started. That I really started pushing and getting into how to do all this stuff. And it's expensive because you buy stuff and you realize that's not what you need. It's not what you want to do. I mean, I'm sure I'm a few grand in. That ain't no joke neither. I mean, I've been through 4 airbrushes. Just that right there is $1,000. And then all the airbrush colors, I'm sure adds up to be, I don't know, $400, $500 total. Watercolors. Ooh, the watercolor paper, $25 a sheet. Handmade. How many of those sheets have I gone through? So then I have acrylics, then I have these envelopes and these markers, and I mean, it's definitely $3,000 or more of stuff. So I'm still in the red as an artist. I still haven't quite made that money back. I also discovered it's an illusion when you make a bunch of money. I think in February or so, I made a pretty good little chunk of change selling art. But I found it takes 30%, sometimes 40% of your income to keep the beast going, to keep the machine going. So if you make $1,000, I found $350 or so is going to go right back into just making it to where you can keep painting and drawing. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm not going to put the whole person's name or their address, but it does help it pop. You see? You add white on there, and it gives it a little 3D effect, a little bit, and you could see it a little bit better, and people really respond a lot to that. when I mail stuff. They're, oh, it looks so nice, and it's all handwritten, and they really love that touch. And I don't mind doing it, you know. I really don't. It does take a lot of time, but you know, you only get a first impression once, and you want people to think positively of you and that you care a lot about what you're doing, and I do. So I just spend a little extra money and go through a little extra steps. All right, the next thing is a handwritten letter, and I could do white paper with black ink, but I find it just looks so badass to do black paper, black cardstock with white ink. It's a headache, but it just looks so cool. So I bought some, you gotta have a little cup like that, a little tasse, a little sprayer of water. Ooh, just gonna, ooh. And then I do like Dr. Phil Martin's, is it Martini or Martin? Martin's pen white. However, this is not water resistant. So I can't watercolor. I have black ink, India ink, that is waterproof. So I could put my ink down and then paint watercolor and it's fine. This would actually start to smear and blend and do weird stuff. You could actually airbrush with this stuff too, but it's water based. Now, I do love these products, but for some reason this particular jar, I don't know what the hell happened. Somehow it got exposed to air, and so it's crumbly and it's hard to get it to, it's like thickened up. So every time I use it, I have to treat it like it's concentrate, and I have to put a little water. So this is like an airdropper here. See that? It's so thick. Oh, I'm running low. Damn, I used so much of this. Holy shit. Ooh. Well. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to. I have a backup plan if this don't work. I had no idea it was so low. So that's just regular water. And this is my, I had to mix water with it anyway, so. Oh gosh, I hope this works. Okay. This might be enough for the letter. Wow. That caught me by surprise, boy. Il m'a trompé. Il m'a trompé. C'est une surprise. Let's see. Okay. I don't want to splash too much ink everywhere. Well, I'll have to make it work with this. Okay, and then I bought calligraphy pen. You know, they're actually pretty cheap, but they look so beautiful. And I always have a ton of paper towels. I swear us painters keep the paper towel industry in business. All right, let's give it a little test here. Wipe wipe that. I accidentally splashed a little. Damn, y'all can't really see. I gotta figure out a better setup for all this stuff. Oh, jeez. See how nice that looks? I know I got a little smear here, but whatever. It's just, it's expensive paper. It's handmade. It's just part of the, I'm not translating the Bible here. So the letter's gonna look like that. Yeah, I got a little smeary poo there, whatever. So it's gonna look like that. And I'm gonna do the whole letter. And you gotta be careful. I find it's better to just wipe these off instead of dipping them in the water. But you can get weird looking cloud effects if you do dip them in water. That's how a lot of the 80s movies were. All right, so that's all I'm gonna really, I just gotta write the letter, do the envelope, pack it up to protect it, and then I'm gonna bring it to the post office and work on some other airbrush stuff today. So, merci, à la prochaine, au revoir. Thank you for watching.